Have you ever been thankful for something bad that happened to you? I know, sounds crazy, but hear me out. Almost 20 years ago, my older son developed Crohn's disease, and it took us a while to get the diagnosis. They thought it might be a lot of different things, but eventually they settled on that. And he was 2 at the time. About 6 months later, I developed Crohn's disease as well, and um, we don't have terrible cases of it. We haven't had to have colon or small intestines removed, but it's been enough for us. And in that time, we were in North Carolina. We made many, many visits to Duke Children's Hospital for checkups and for treatments, and just to get a sense of where we could go with his disease and how to make it better for him, because he was struggling quite a bit in the first 7 or 8 years with it. And while we were there, I just got to see so many other families and what they were dealing with, and some of them much worse than ours. That's not to make light of anybody's, what we were going through, what anybody's going through. Whatever you're struggling with is your struggle. But we saw people with really, really hard struggles for their kids. And at that time, I just felt like God saying, look, I want you to have compassion. I want your eyes to be open to a hurting world. Because I had frankly lived a pretty easy life up until that point when I was 30. Not much bad to happen to me. I was probably pretty sheltered, and I didn't understand the physical, mental, emotional pain that most of the world was carrying. And so it was really transforming for me to experience that, to have God sort of show me that and to teach me that, and to understand the pain people are dealing with. And I'm reminded of one of my favorite singers that time was Rich Mullins. He died much too early, tragically, in a car accident. But in his memoir, written by his friends and family, he talked about how he learned how to lean into pain. And that was something that really struck me and stuck with me. I think we're so quick to dismiss pain in our world and to take a pill or to just try to, numb ourselves to it or move on, that we don't really actually see what can we learn from this pain? How can we grow? And maybe what is God teaching us? Now, I'm not saying God is bringing these things on us to specifically inflict pain on us to help us learn things, but I think in a sin-stained, broken world where we have free will, He allows that sin to happen and allows those things to happen, but we can learn from them. And He wants us to learn compassion and grace and love and to be a light and reflect that in the world. And so I just encourage you, if you are struggling with something, to lean into that pain a little bit and think about, how can I learn from this? How can I grow from these struggles? Now, some of you have horrific pain or trauma, and it may be too soon for that. But just know, those of you that do lean into it, one, be encouraged. Your pain won't last forever. God is making all things new eventually, and He wants to use your pain to love others in the world. Live with grace, friends.